We'll call this committee of the whole meeting to order on August 12th, 2025 at 6:01 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm gonna, actually, is there anybody like to speak under public participation? Okay, for the record, there is no public participation this evening. I'm going to push items 5 and 6 up. Molly is joining us remote, and she has a time-critical commitment, and so she needs to get off the call as soon as possible. So we will start with item number 5, the Logan County Tourism Bureau funding agreement. What you have in the packet is a funding agreement that was drafted and reviewed. Mr. Hoblet has reviewed this as well. And then last week, members of the Logan County Tourism Bureau, the county, and the city all met, and we went through this agreement line by line. There are a couple things on here that I just want to point out that, Molly, I sent these back to Lance for corrections, and it was under 2.3. That should read, in the event the city ceases funding. So I believe Lance is going to make that change. So, oh, actually, never mind. This is correct. The other one with the county was the one with the updates. Okay, scratch what I just said. It should say county. Yep. Yep. So the idea is that in the event that the county ceases funding, our agreement would be terminated because our agreement is stipulates that the county needs to be a partner as well. So scratch what I just said. I'm sorry. So are there any questions over the funding agreement that has been presented to the council? Ms. O'Donohue?
So the county still hasn't made a decision on whether they're doing this or not?
The county took this agreement and basically made a clone of it.
Okay.
And they are taking it to their finance committee, and then they will decide on whether to move forward or not.
So the county still hasn't made a decision that they're going to do this?
They haven't voted on it. But what I can tell you is, and Steve and Sam can speak up, they were in that meeting as well, and Molly was as well. It sounds like there is agreement on this at the county side, and they actually are going to do funding all at once. So they really want this to happen. So I don't anticipate problems. Can't say that there won't be. It's government for you, but Molly, Sam, Steve, anything to add on this?
No, I think you summed it up pretty well. I feel like the county had agreed to that. They're just kind of waiting to vote, but yeah, it seemed pretty smooth.
Yeah, it was my understanding that they've already agreed to the two. They've already voted to fund them. They're just now. This vote would just be for the actual agreement, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Similar to what
they're
we're
committed. I think is what you were kind of concerned with, right? Yeah.
They have committed to the funding. Just this solidifies the terms of it. Ms. Bateman?
So just clarification, until they vote, even if the council votes and passes next week, we won't pay anything out until the county votes and passes theirs, correct? Okay. Just make sure.
And to be clear, I'm not saying that there couldn't be flexibility in this, but we've gone back and forth on this for several weeks. And I think and I'm glad we did because it took time to make sure everything was right. But for those of us that have been involved in the discussions, we believe that this is our offer for a funding agreement. And there did not appear to be any opposition from the Bureau, but I'll let Molly speak to that. She's the chairman. Molly, would you like to speak about your position on this?
Yeah, I will say, I'll just add to what Mayor Welch has said, is that a lot of people put a lot of thought into this over the course of several weeks, and we've all worked really hard together to come to some agreements, and I think that this is it. And I'm really grateful for the leadership of the city on putting together this funding agreement. So thank you.
Okay. Mr. Conzo.
Just a point of clarification, this term of 1 year, so I'm assuming we would assume, if the county approves this during the month of August, then we would begin, the agreement would be September 1st of this year. Is that,
It would be effective the day that they pass their funding agreement.
okay, okay.
Yep. And that's a good point. Our agreement, we felt that 1 year was appropriate because that gives everybody some time to work through the issues. The county, they wanted to go all in for 2 years. We're not saying we don't want to be in it with the Bureau for 2 years, but we'd like the year to kind of see how things go. But we're still committed to it. Okay, so are we okay placing this on the regular agenda?
Yes.
Okay, we'll place item number 5 on the regular agenda. Okay, next up is the sale and transfer of assets agreement with the Logan County Tourism Bureau. It's item number 6. So again, this is a document that we went over in great detail. All 3 parties did last week, and we walked out with a general understanding that these are items that the city would be willing and interested in taking. I should also point out that the Bureau is interested in transferring ownership of the assets because they're paying insurance on these assets. Their insurance policy does end at the end of August. Doesn't mean that they can't go renew a policy to keep them if things don't go well with this, but just for those on the call and those watching, this document reflects the covered wagon, the statue that's on the covered wagon, and all the signage, fencing, landscaping with that attraction. There are some Ostendorf print signage and plaques. These are some of the plaques you may have seen around town. We have gone through an inventory of these plaques, and the ones that are listed in here are the ones that all the parties in that meeting were at least in agreement in taking ownership of. On the buildings. Mm-hmm. So, like, for instance, the conversation that's been taking place about the one with Sherwin-Williams, that's one of that type of plaque. The one on the, across the street from Pulaski at the location where they plotted Abraham Lincoln's.
So they actually insure the plaque itself on a particular building?
Every one of these items they have been insuring. Yep. All assets at the Welcome Garden, that includes the signs, the mural, gazebos, things of that nature. This is a complete inventory of that. To that point, the Bureau will be sending us over a termination of the lease agreement that we have with the Welcome Garden. I know the staff at the Bureau is working on that, Molly and Lance, and those are as well. This includes the Lincoln letters that was just placed up on the Mellacream lot, as well as the giant donut sculpture. The informational signage from the Route 66 grant. There were 7 wayfinding signs that were put together as part of the Route 66 grant. If you want to know what they look like, one's at the depot right now. There's one at the mill, and there's others located in other locations. We're not taking all of those, but there is one inside the depot right now that's just a generic wayfinding sign, and we're just waiting until we get through some of this to determine what to do with that item. This also includes 2 watermelon benches, so these are things that Alderman Parrott was passionate about, worked with the Bureau, and they're being designed, or they're past design, they're actually being constructed now, correct?
Should be delivered in within 2 weeks.
Okay, so delivered within 2 weeks. So we put both watermelon benches on here. If you don't know what these are, they're what they sound like. They look like a watermelon laying on its side with a 90-degree wedge cut out. And when it lays on its side, if it's mounted properly, you can sit on it like a bench. So they'll be very cool. 2 wooden barrels. The wooden barrels are currently at the depot. They're just old whiskey barrels. They had them at the depot. They did not feel that they needed them anymore. And speaking with Mr. McCoy, we believe that these could complement the exhibit at the museum, so we were okay taking these. They have nominal value anyways. This also says all furniture, electronics, benches, and property that were left at the depot that were not removed. Quite honestly, there's not a lot in that building at this time. The Bureau came in, they took most everything out of there. There's a couple TVs on the wall. There's some prints that the council should have got a letter that the Heritage Museum gave those to the city. They're still on the wall. There's a couple church pews or benches in there. The Lincoln statue, the Abraham Lincoln statue that is in there right now, it is actually owned by Heartland Bank. I spoke with Dave Irwin from Heartland Bank this week. They are not interested in giving it to the city, but they are interested in it remaining where it's at. So it fits perfectly there. It looks nice. We don't have an issue keeping it where it's at. And then one rack card informational Take One wooden kiosk is on here. If you've been in the depot, there were 4 in on the left-hand side when you came in, and they're spinning kiosks where we can put placards, rack cards. They had 4 of them. During the discussion, we landed on we would take one because we think it would work well inside the museum. But if the Bureau, they're meeting tomorrow night, if they decide otherwise, we're okay scratching that. No harm, no foul on that one. And then the backside is pretty standard stuff about the agreement and sale is final, and some of the legal stuff that John has worked through. And then the cost of the agreement is $1 for the transfer of assets. So with that being said, I'll open up any questions unless Steve, Sam, or Molly would like to speak about this as well.
We're just one step closer to getting this all taken care of, and pretty appreciative of all that time and effort put in by the Tourism Bureau, by the city, by the mayor, by John as well. I know it's been a long road to go down, and we're looking. And I know Sam, we discuss this frequently. We'll be glad when all this has been complete and finalized.
Anything to add, Molly?
I mean, I think you touched on it already, Mayor Welch, but the reality is that the Tourism Bureau just doesn't have the budget to continue to ensure these things, and it makes the most sense for them to remain with the city. And we're very pleased that the city tourism department will be taking them over, and they'll be in good hands. So we're appreciative of that.
Perfect. Okay, one thing I do want to point out, because I've got this question, and I'm sure we will. You'll notice on the asset list that the mill is not on there, and that is because the Bureau is now chosen that as their office and their headquarters. That's where the Bureau operates out of, and the county requested that they maintain that asset, and therefore they will maintain it. If you take a moment after we're done here and go back to the funding agreement that we put on the regular agenda, item 3-14, it has some language in there that addresses what happens if the Bureau were to dissolve, close, or end their operations. And essentially what that reads is the county would like the first opportunity to consider taking ownership of that. And if the county then passes, then the city would step in and we would have the right to take ownership of that asset as well. All parties involved in the meeting last week felt that that was appropriate, had no concerns. And so I just want to make sure everybody's aware of what's going on with the mill. Okay, so that being said, is there any questions from any of the council members? Okay, so are we okay placing this on the regular agenda? Okay, we'll place item number 6 on the regular agenda. Okay, that brings us to item number 4, sidewalk improvement project proposal. Mr. Landers.
Yes, in the packet, there's information
Hey, well,
about,
before you go, I'm sorry. Molly, we are all done, so if you want to drop off, thank you for dialing in. We appreciate your partnership, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, go ahead, Walt, I'm sorry.
in the packet there's the information about the sidewalk project for 2025. There's a list of street blocks where sidewalk is to be replaced, some curb and driveway work. And then there's also photographs or pictures where the targets are highlighted. And then all the engineer's estimate was about $307,875. And we have about $300,000 budgeted for this project. So hopefully we can get some good bids and be able to do all the targets. And basically, this is similar to the oil and chip. It's a proposal. We'd like the council to approve the targets and the proposal, and then we'll move forward with the bidding.
Alderman Parrott?
Well, I know that we discussed 10th Street a little bit, and we still have Monday to Elm there. We're still going to
That's in there, yes.
Have we do we need to revisit the gentleman and see if that's still a go for him?
For,
I'm trying to think of the gentleman that I spoke of. We spoke on it once before. I can talk to you afterwards.
did it have anything to do with brick sidewalk or?
No, it had to do with losing the stoop out in front of his house, and then.
No, that is on 9th Street.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That is 9th
Yes,
Street.
that didn't make the list.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, only question I got is that the engineering estimate's $307,875, but we only budgeted $300. Are we just gonna address that later if the bids do not come in under?
If it's more, we do have some appropriation money, if it's not much, that we could cover it with, but that's a discussion we can have at that time.
Okay. Questions for Walt from the council? Okay, place that on the regular agenda. Okay, we'll place item number 4 on the regular agenda. That brings us down to announcements. I've just got 2. The council should have got an email about ribbon cuts coming up. We have a ribbon cut this Friday, August 15th at Heart and Flower. They're located at 527 Woodlawn. You may have noticed, and Dennis and I spoke about it before the meeting. I thought it was at 9 o'clock. The email today says 10.
I emailed them, they never responded.
Oh, really?
Because the original email we got was 9, and then
Yeah.
today it said 10, so I don't know what time it is.
It must have changed. We'll try to confirm it. So, Friday at 10 o'clock. If it is not 10 o'clock, we'll send an email out to the council and let you know so that you can be present. Also, there is a ribbon cut at the new District 27 daycare facility located at Adams School on Nicholson Road. This is going to, the LDN staff will be there, but it's going to actually be moderated, I guess, or hosted by District 27. But that's Monday, August 18th at 10 a.m. if you can be present for that as well. That is all I have. Are there any other announcements? Mr. Conzo.
Yes, it's that time of the year again. I want to remind everybody, tomorrow, August 13th, is International Left-Handed People's Day. So if you know someone who is left-handed, yeah, this is, you want to, they're 4 now. You are? So just keep that in mind. If you
Okay. Any other announcements? If there are no announcements, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Alderman Downs made the motion. Alderman Anderson second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned at 6:19 p.m.
Kyla just texted it was changed to 10 o'clock last week.
10 o'clock. Hey, Sam.